Carver, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. de Kerchove. Bearing in mind the obvious concerns over the safety of security operatives that have arisen out of the Edward Snowden situation, had you hoped to achieve information sharing amongst Member States at the same time that you talk of closer cooperation with Turkish intelligence services, such as the invitation that you mentioned to their attendance at the strategical and tactical meetings at Eurojust? Bearing in mind this is happening at the same time that prosecutors are declaring that MIT, the Turkish intelligence service, have shipped weapons to Islamic rebels in Syria. I too would also like to hear your views on infiltration into the European Union via the North African refugee crisis. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the many very challenging questions. I'll take them one by one with a short answer. On the risk, and it's a question which was asked 2 or 3 times, risk of infiltration of terrorists from outside through the network of illegal migrants, I too would share the view that we have to keep separate illegal migrants, asylum seekers and criminals. I've been insisting a lot on this these last 7 years I'm in the job, because these are people with different objectives. An illegal migrant is someone who wants to get a better life. An asylum seeker is someone who is persecuted and need international protection, and a terrorist has other objectives, of course. What do I know about what is happening in Libya? My information is indeed that Daesh is involved in trafficking human beings, because it's a huge source of income, very profitable business. And so they are handling illegal migrants, $5,000 each. I'm not aware they are not then themselves use the network to infiltrate. Would say my view is that for the time being, as was rightly said by one of the member of this committee, the main threat comes from foreign terrorist fighters, and these are Europeans with a citizenship of a member state. So they don't need to use a network of illegal migrants, because they can use a valid passport. And why we need PNR is precisely because some of them, they fly below the radar. They're not known by the police, not known by the intelligence service. They have valid travel documents, and they can go to Syria by just pretending they go for holidays in Turkey and then cross the border. And so at this stage, I don't see I don't have evidence of the use of illegal network. This being said, I think we need to bring and for foreign terrorist fighters with EU citizenship, the citizenship of a member state, we need to push gradually more Frontex into the business of the fight against crime. For historical reason and institutional reason, we have built Frontex, what was called before the first pillar, the community competence, and therefore we could only task Frontex with the flow of migrants and not looking at the fight against crime. In the member states, it does not work like this. The border guard is dealing with crime and flow of migrants, legal or illegal. And so the Lisbon Treaty removed the pillars. We don't have the first, the second, and the third pillar anymore, even if CFSP is a bit different, and we can use the community method. And if we had to set up Frontex today, we would task Frontex, when they collect personal data, with some role with Europol. And I'm pushing Europol and Frontex to conclude as quickly as possible an operational agreement which allows Frontex to share operation data with Europol. This is very much needed when they have a joint operation in the Mediterranean and they collect names of poor guys who have been rescued, and they mention a name of someone living in Istanbul, is at the top of a network. And if we could put that more together, maybe Europol, through the different database they have, would allow to identify that we have 5 or 10 kingpins making millions of dollars of profit by this ugly business of trafficking in human beings. And so we need to do that more. And be vigilant. But I don't have any evidence so far. The question of Ana Gomez on information sharing, there is an improvement. I asked this week, because I have to address the Council tomorrow, whether member states were sharing more with Europol and Eurojust. this is the case. So the number of data shared is increasing, and I welcome that a lot.